Gump Report. Yeah, it's here before Royal Rumble. This literally is being done in the afternoon, around 1 o'clock in the afternoon. I am going to do this now. I'm going to edit it, and I'm going to upload it within maybe about an hour or so. So you'll be seeing this probably in the next maybe 2 or 3 o'clock. I think you'll get it because it's going to count on how long it takes for YouTube to upload anything. You know how you... Guys, sometimes YouTube takes a long time to upload. Sometimes it takes a long time to upload. You guys don't know what it's like to be a content creator, as we're called, content creator. And after a show is done, in my case, I film it, I edit the video, counting if I put images in, and then once it's made, to wait for YouTube to decide, okay, I'm going to let you upload. Oh, wait, maybe I'll wait until about 4 o'clock in the morning, and then the upload will go through. That sometimes happens. But this is what you're getting now. So you should get this before Royal Rumble. I'm going to make this very clear. Disclaimer. I don't know all that I know. I'm going to leave some connections below on the websites that I found the information. And understand, as I left in a comment for somebody, and I think I said on my SmackDown review, it wasn't easy looking up any information about Netflix. All that is dominating is what's been going on with Vince. And I want to make this clear. I'm not going to talk about the lawsuit here. It's not happening. But I am going to reference Vince in his resignation once that's necessary. But in general, this is about Netflix. This is about what's going to happen with WWE. And with my understanding of the material that is available, speculation from a couple other people, namely Tuesday Night Titans with JD and his partner over there. What is it? Andrew Madell, I believe that's his name. Don't really watch them much. I don't really have enough time to watch them. But whenever I can watch, I watch it. They're not so bad. I'm not against JD. And I'm not against him or Jesse or even just Alex. I'm not. But they are full-time content recruit. The reason I botch is because I'm not a full-time creator who's making money off of wrestling. I'm just not. I'm just a small YouTuber who's just doing this as a passion to help with his depression and anxiety, and because I'm a New Yorker and we have fucking opinions. We all have opinions. I'm like one of the rare New Yorkers who's I'm subdued in the sense that I don't have a huge attitude. I just don't. It's just not me. I have one. But compared to most New Yorkers like this, I'm kind of like here. I'm a very quiet guy. I'm a shy guy. There's no lie about this. I'm a shy, quiet guy. I don't try to bother nobody. I'm mostly just friendly when I can. I'm not very good in crowds. I get nervous around crowds. It's just that type of person. But I'm still a New Yorker. I still have an opinion, and I can be a loudmouth like anybody else. But it takes a lot. Understand, to get me pissed, it takes a lot because I'm not the type of person to just get pissed off easily. I'm just not. I'll get upset, but not pissed. So, understand, I'm not like JD and everybody else. I'm just a bit different. I'm built different, as they say. But here, I have to say this. Seeing the material that is available right now, because this is still very early. As much as anyone says, oh, this is already a lot. No, it's still very early. The transition of Raw to Netflix will not happen until maybe January or February of next year. And this is what we know. And it was talked about briefly by JD. I don't remember if just Alex realized this. He might have spoke about it as well. But I will bring something up with Netflix on their part of the contract they signed with WWE bringing Raw over. Now, here's the gist of it. Next to The Rock joining the board of directors of TKO Group Holdings, because he's now a board of directors holder. There's also another person who's part of the board, but I don't recognize him. But The Rock is a very high-profile man who's a former wrestler, a movie star, an owner of the XFL, one of the owners. He has a lot of clout. He has a lot of influence, and now he's part of TKO Group Holdings, which owns TKO UFC and TKO WWE. If anyone says, you mean UFC and WWE? No. TKO is the parent company. They own both of them. So you can easily say TKO / UFC and TKO slash WWE, counting if they buy anyone else up. You never know who else they will buy. Hell, if they bought Disney, it would be TKO slash Disney, or TKO slash Pixar, or whatever else they own. Even though it's not said, that's what it is. But he's now part of the board of directors. So that means if he wishes, when it's time to elect new people for the board of WWE, you're damn hell sure The Rock will become a board of director on the WWE side. He will be on the board of WWE along with Triple H is not part of the board, but Nick Khan is. So he will become a part of that board eventually. I do believe that. There's no way he will not. Because let's make this clear. I know this is what is a conspiracy. Well, not conspiracy. My speculation. I'm going to do a lot of speculation here, guys. There's going to be a lot of speculations in this video. But let's look at Ava Raine. She's now a general manager of NXT. Why would they make her like that? Because they knew that The Rock wanted to join TKO. Either they offered him the opportunity, or he said, okay, WWE is not controlled the way it was controlled, with Vince as the chairman of the board. He's now the chairman of TKO, but he doesn't have total control. I think I want to have a little bit of stock in this. Even though Vince had 13%, does not mean The Rock won't go in and grab some stock of his own. So he's now got to have some stock in the company, and now he's a board of directors as it comes out when Vince is having his problem. I'm only referencing that I should say 2 times, not once. That's my speculation of one of the things that brought The Rock in. But he's now a member of the board of directors of TKO Group Holdings. Damn, my battery died. Anyway, here's the gist of it. The contract that has been set up between Netflix and WWE is like this, as far as I understand it. Of course, the information, if I leave the connections below, you can look at it for yourself. You can tell me if I'm wrong. You can tell me that I understand what you're saying. I'm only giving you the basics of it. But here's the deal. WWE has now signed a contract with Netflix. They will be streaming Raw for 52 weeks out of the year. Every week, Raw will be streamed. They have done an arrangement of a $5 billion 10-year type of deal. And only at this time, because they're going to say, oh, it's only going to be like this permanently. No. This is how it is currently. Within the 10 years, you will see Netflix streaming Raw internationally. It's not national. That's still dealt with, I take that back. Raw will be streamed internationally. And you can probably still see it on Netflix in America easily, but it'll be generally international. And any PLEs will also be streamed international, but not be national. That is still on Peacock. Peacock still has the rights to do national. So probably what's going to happen is that Peacock will be streaming the PLEs, and maybe they may still have the right to stream Raw. And internationally, you're going to have Raw shown in all countries that Netflix is affiliated with, and any type of city or states, not states, but cities, internationally, and all PLEs international will be done there, and Netflix will have the ownership of that. It will be a $5 billion deal for 10 years, $500 million each year to the WWE. Now, this is where it gets interesting. 1, at this time, Netflix has a clause in the contract that states that at any time they can extend. So when they reach the first 10 years, they can make a request with a new contract to extend it another 5 years. It's an extension. So they can extend beyond 2025, because this starts in beyond 2035, because this starts January, February of 2025. It begins maybe somewhere in the beginning of January, February. But from 2025 to 2035 is that $5 billion deal, $500 million every year, and there's 52 weeks for each year. But they can extend it easily an extra 5 years, and at that point, if they wish to extend it again, they can extend it another 5 years going into 2040 if they want. Also, we now know that Peacock only has the contract work with WWE until around 2026. They can still do PLEs nationally till 2026. So this is my speculation. What may happen is that when the 2026 ends, if they do not renegotiate a contract or extension, if that's allowed within the contract they originally signed with Peacock, WWE can leave Peacock and put all of that on Netflix, where Netflix will no longer just do international PLEs because Peacock has the rights for another roughly 2 years. It will go to Netflix directly. So Netflix can do international and national for WWE streaming straight. Now, also, from what information that I've seen, which is very little, they have not talked about any type of pricing. Now, I do know that Pat McAfee did have an interview with Nick Khan, who is the CEO. I did not watch it. I did see a little bit of the conversation that was transcribed, talked a little bit about Vince, talked about what's going to happen with the premium PLEs a little bit, but essentially, it's supposed to be a great thing for WWE, which is TKO/WWE. And that's generally what's going on. But there's a little bitty secret that was mentioned on Tuesday Night Titans at least once with JD that was mostly just done quickly. But no one wants to talk about it, but I have to talk about it, particularly what has happened with Vince McMahon and his resignation, where I'm bringing it up now. As you already know, and just in case you don't know, we had an issue. It was not Vince. That's something entirely different. But it was connected to Vince because of Slim Jim. Slim Jim has been working with WWE for quite a while now. They redone their contract. I mean, Slim Jim's in WWE has not done anything for many, many decades. After what happened in the 90s and 2000s, they really weren't connected. Only in the maybe 2020s have they reinvigorated their partnership, because they used to do it. If you've never seen the advertisement, snap into the stream. I don't know why I messed up when it came to channeling a little bit of yeah, dig it, snap into a Slim Jim. Oh yeah, a Macho Man Randy Savage. That happened in the 90s with Macho Man, but they haven't done that for years. Recently, they reinvigorated a new partnership with Slim Jims, and if you hadn't seen it, LA Knight did a Slim Jims, along with a couple other people. But at this time, after the allegations came out, Slim Jim paused. I'll say it again. Not ended their arrangement, paused it. Paused it because of the allegations. And then the lawsuit. Understand, we are talking about the lawsuit and the allegations included in it. I'm not going any further than that, but that's what this comes down to. It is a lawsuit with allegations. And as much as I got to say this, because I'm not going to tell you I'm for Vince. I'm not going to tell you I'm against Vince. I'm not for either one. I'm just telling you what this really is. And everyone has jumped on the bandwagon saying Vince is dead. I saw JD's video of SmackDown. He's so happy. He's toasting. Boom. Vince being gone. Let's make this clear. I'm going to say this now. I have to say this. As much as everyone is so happy Vince is gone, does not mean he's gone. As much as anyone wants to say that Vince is going to jail, we don't know if he's going to jail. This is a lawsuit. A criminal lawsuit that can go either way. I am not for Vince. I don't care. I just know what can happen with the company, whether he's going to be sued, prosecuted, or thrown in jail or not. I'm only telling you that we do not know if he will go to jail. It is a lawsuit that is being brought up against him. Okay? Remember this. Whatever anyone says, there is no guarantee he will go to jail. If he's done it, it'd be fine with me. But I'm not going to tell you that he couldn't escape it. No matter how much anyone wants to say he's going to jail, we don't know. I'm at least one of the rare few that will tell you the truth when it comes to a lawsuit, okay? When it comes to a lawsuit, you do not know how it's going to go down as much as you believe 100%. Because if you remember O.J. Simpson, Everyone thought that bitch was going to go to jail because almost all the evidence pointed to his ass killing his wife and the guy she was with. And he didn't go to fucking jail. He didn't. So do not believe things could not go the opposite way. I am not for OJ. I was never for OJ Simpson. I wasn't for him to win. I wasn't him for losing. I just knew that either way something could happen. And that's the way it could go with Vince. We just don't know. As much as we want his ass out, anything can happen. I had to say that. That's not going to just be in the Gump Report. It will be for Vince when there's more information that comes in. But I had to say it like this because there's going to people who's going to come to me and say, dude, you know Vince is going to jail. No, you don't. But let's get to this, which is another thing that's not really talked about much. And when it comes to JD and Tuesday Night Titans, where they basically talked about it when the deal was reached. Netflix, and this is where it comes in, where it does kind of cover with Vince. Netflix has the right to opt out at any time of the deal. Say it again. At any time, Netflix can opt out of the deal with WWE. Flat out. They can opt out at any time. Look what happened with Slim Jim. At this point in time, the new deal has not gone into effect yet. They got to wait until next year. WWE will be finished with their USA in October for Raw. Now, I don't know when SmackDown is going to go and start on USA because they're moving SmackDown over to USA. When it comes to Fox, they're finished this year. So they're swapping. Now, supposedly, between November until these January, February, there's no content for regular TV. If you want to see Raw on cable, you can't because there will be no USA. Unless they're willing to do an extension with USA, which they're not. It's just going to be SmackDown. So either Raw is going to be streaming on the WWE Network because they still could do that. Or just on Peacock alone. There's a good chance that if you got Peacock, you could see it there only until they switch to Netflix. They may be working that out with Peacock. That's a possibility. Or they may do a very short-term contract with another network on cable because they may do it only for a few months. Or they may not have any content, which I don't think that's possible. I know Raw has to have some type of content to be shown. So if it's not on the network, which is usually international, and that's going away, understand, the WWE Network, I believe, if it does stay, it'll go to countries that's not part of Netflix. That's a possibility too. Because let's make this clear. Peacock is national. WWE Network can be international because that's what they use it for now. And Netflix is also going to be international. So what I believe is going to happen, they may keep the WWE Network available for people who are not a part of the Netflix deal or availability. So Netflix will take care of most of the world's countries that have its arrangement. And whatever is not there, and the WWE already has it, maybe like India, because I'm sure India has WWE Network. So maybe like India or China or the Philippines or Japan or whatever. If they don't have it or an equivalent of it, it's going to be WWE. If they don't have a Netflix, their own version of Netflix, it will be the network. So it may be the Network International and maybe something with Peacock here. But I state this now because of what happened with Slim Jims, and it has just been found out, I think today. I don't know if it was in the morning or just recently in the last couple of hours. Since Vince has resigned, you have Slim Jims now returned to WWE, but they, as I believe the, the article I believe I saw, the CEO of Slim Jims is monitoring the situation. They want to keep the partnership, but they are monitoring it. This is what nobody's talking about. We have no clue how far this goes. Guys, let's make this clear. We have no idea what is going to happen with that lawsuit. And how is this going to affect WWE is up in the air. As much as everyone's going to say WWE is going to be fine. No. Look what happened with Slim Jims. We have no idea how far this will go. Because already more than a few people have been talked about in the lawsuit. Next to Vince. I'm talking about Vince again. But I have to. I got to explain it. Because when it comes down to this situation, if Netflix feels skittish about this, they can pull this arrangement. Because it's written in the contract. They can opt out at any time. I'm going to say this again. Anytime they can opt out from this arrangement with WWE. As much as no one is going to believe it's possible. If Slim Jims was willing to pause their arrangement with WWE, which probably prompted what happened with Vince, we have no idea how far this goes with that lawsuit and what effect it will have in the company. It doesn't make a difference, and I'm making it clear, guys. It makes no difference how positive it is. Like, if anybody's seen the original Wizard of Oz, and everyone's singing, "Ooh, rah, the witch is dead, the witch is dead, the witch is dead, ooh, rah, the witch," it doesn't matter. The witch could be dead, but WWE can be in trouble because of whatever else has happened in the damn company. I've said this so many years ago, more than anyone. Never underestimate what could happen because of Vince. I said at one point there was going to be division between the people who cared about Vince and the ones who were on Triple H's side. And sooner or later, there was going to be a conflict. I did not know how it was going to morph, how it was going to happen, where there was going to be some type of issue or situation. But there could be a possibility of something happening. It makes no difference how you feel about it. It doesn't make a difference how I feel about it. We have no idea what type of situation the company really has. We don't know what's in the company. As much as everyone said, well, John Laurinaitis is gone, Bruce Pritchard is gone, what is the guy, Kevin Dunn is gone. Well, I think Bruce might be still there, but Kevin Dunn is gone, John Laurinaitis is gone. That's it. How many people you think Vince hired? How many people you think John or well, you know, like the people I just mentioned. How much do you think they've influenced people in the company as much as anyone is a yes man now to the board and Ari Emanuel and his daughter in creative? Remember, Ari Emanuel has a daughter in creative. She's there. She will influence how the show is, and Ari will influence the show through her. It makes no difference what anyone thinks. We do not know how much changes is going to happen to this company. As I've said for months, and nobody wants to even acknowledge it. I'm the only one, from what I can tell, that will acknowledge we just had a merger of a major company. And right now, everyone is just up in arms happy. You do not know what the difference is going to be. It hasn't even been, 3 or 4 or 5 months yet. When did they merge? September? We haven't had September, October, November, December, January. 4 months, 4 or 5 months. It's been between 4.5 to 5 months since the freaking merger. And look at the controversy now. Do you actually believe this is ending yet? No, this is why I was hoping that Trinity doesn't show up at Royal Rumble. Or even a Sasha Banks for that matter. They're in flux. And nobody wants to even admit that this type of problem is happening. We don't know what's about to happen. We have no idea how the company is going to react. Because if this lawsuit, which I knew sooner or later something was going to happen, and this was going to be left up to Ari to try and fix, not Triple H. No one's understanding. This is not about the show. This is about the owner. This is about Ari Emanuel and how he's going to have to deal with this now. And I don't trust Ari any better than I did with Ted Turner. Ted Turner was a businessman, and he tried to treat WCW as a business, not a promotion. That's one of the things that happened with Eric Bischoff. He was never a wrestler. He was never a promoter. He was never an actual employee of a promotion. He was a guy for business. And he treated it like a business, and look what happened. We got Ari Emanuel, who is a businessman, which I don't even know if he was into wrestling at all. He met Vince years later. He might have never been a wrestling fan, but he became a fan of Vince because he became his friend. So now you got a guy who was probably never originally a wrestling fan owning a company that now he just merged not only his Endeavor company, but one of the children companies of UFC with WWE, and it's all TKO Group Holdings, Endeavor with, TKO Endeavor, TKO UFC, and TKO WWE. That's what this is all about. And literally, everyone is perfectly fine with it. But look what has just happened. I'm not saying that this is all going to go bad. This could still end very well for TKO Group Holdings and TKO WWE. They may be fine with this. The Netflix contract may go 100% seamless, and they'll find something to do within the next 3-4 maybe months from October into January, February when they switch over to Netflix when it comes to Raw. There may be no problems. Or within 2 or 3 months from now, we may have a shit show because we don't know what's going to happen with that damn lawsuit. We have no idea who else may be implicated. I'm going to say it again. You don't know how far this shit's going to expand. Do you not believe that something else will happen because of that lawsuit? Anything can happen. Vince may not lose. Or someone else may be included in it. Or may not be included in it. We don't know. And as much as I'm hoping it all works out, I am telling you honestly, WWE, TKO WWE, is in flux. Do not believe that this company is not going through changes. And if anybody keeps saying, oh, you just want to see it fail. No, I don't. I don't want to see it fail. I don't want to see something going wrong and people losing their damn jobs. I don't. How many times have we seen huge amounts of people just get dumped by WWE that didn't deserve it? Okay? I want to see these people succeed. I want to have a wrestling company that truly cares about its wrestlers and mainly care about its fans. But it's hard to say, can they? With so much going on within a few months of the damn merger and nobody wants to admit it. Everyone is just so happy that Vince is gone. They don't want to see that you have a new company that is in flux. That look what just happened now. Slim Jims just stopped working with WWE temporarily, and only because of a resigning did they finally decide to go back to it. Because think about this. Look what happened to Anheuser-Busch. If anybody is a beer drinker, I'm not. I don't drink any liquor. Not because I used to be an alcoholic. I just never had the interest. I grew up in an alcoholic house. I grew up in a house where they did drugs, but lucky for me, I never did. I never did do drugs. I never did alcohol. I hate the smell of it. I drank it and I hate it. I'm just that type of person. But for anyone who is a beer drinker, Anheuser-Busch and Bud Light might have been your favorite beer. And look what happened. It is the most hated beer because of one situation, a bad call, and they went from being the top one, here. And all the smaller places just rose. No one thought that anyone would ever knock off Anheuser-Busch. No one ever thought that they could ever be beaten, and look what happened. Do not underestimate anything. If you do, you're an idiot. But this is just me. I hope any of this information makes any sense. Now I gotta go and edit this video and wait for a Royal Rumble and hope that Trinity doesn't show up there or Mercedes Moné. That's what I'm hoping for. No Trinity. No Mercedes Moné. I would be happy they don't show up, but this is just me. Peace.